If you can explain to us sort of the opportunities for video on the tablet that may exist now as a new medium, not simply as another screen perhaps.
Okay, so the opportunity for video is immense. I mean, for starters, we know that people are using the iPad. You know, one of the main uses they're using it for is video. I was told a statistic, I think this year, which was that 20% of all internet in America is Netflix. Like, that's a pretty staggering feeling. It's a pretty staggering thing, right? That all this bandwidth is being used on people using video. So we know that people are watching video, but the opportunity on an iPad is to take that video and incorporate it into all these other multimedia assets like audio and text and, you know, interactivity around video. I mean, I'm a former video producer, and you know, all this kind of thinking came from the notion of, you know, what other type of interaction could you have with video? And that's really where all this began.
What is your approach to, or you know, to bringing video onto tablets, and in terms of ScrollMotion, and what are the opportunities to create video-like content on tablets, and what are you guys doing?
Well, for starters, I mean, the core technology behind ScrollMotion is this idea of moving through video with your finger. You know, taking 30 seconds of footage or 5 seconds of footage and turning it into an interactive experience that's touch-oriented. I mean, that is totally a breakthrough in terms of how people are interacting with both content that they know, so like my favorite movie, then I'm taking a scene from my favorite movie and I'm playing with it, or content that they don't know, where I'm taking a math problem and I'm breaking it down into a step-by-step, you know, experience that's touch-oriented. And both of those are the same technology, and they're both completely different uses of the experience, both from how I'm engaging it as a user and also how I'm thinking about it as a creator of content. So, I mean, we think that the iPad is a transformative moment. This is like all the media in the world can now be sort of re-ingested, reimagined through this fantastic magic slate.
So, Josh, what are we looking at now?
So today we're now looking at a use of motion graphics inside an app. So this is the GE annual report, and what we have here is a page that is essentially motion graphics, but really adds to a sense of magic inside the experience. So moving from motion graphics to essentially an interactive menu that I can then get to any part of this section of the annual report. And then peppered throughout that experience is also video. And I think it's actually really important to look at this and to see that, you know, what a profound thing to look at full screen video in portrait mode. I mean, to have someone talking directly to the user in a size that is almost life size, I think is one of the most profound things I've seen on the iPad. And I think something that needs to sort of be noted, because it's just so powerful to see that stuff.
It's not exact, it's partially video in the way that we know video, but it's also sort of like motion graphics or a rich moving environment or so. How would you describe that?
Well, motion graphics are magic, right? Motion graphics, you're able to take, you know, simple images, elements, and put them together in a way that is visually satisfying and exciting. And the apps that we built absolutely use motion graphics and absolutely sort of take that kind of sleight of hand and, you know, turn it into a reading experience or another type of engagement, a learning experience, all using motion graphics as kind of a transitional element. I mean, we use motion graphics for the GE annual report, right, where we take what is a pretty static looking page and we turn it into a, you know, beautiful sort of numbers fly on the page and then become sort of a static page. But motion graphics is a means of introducing, of engaging new content. Fun.
How are videos surfaced? And I mean, if there is a way, or is there a sort of best use, or why do people use videos? Again, more of video that was perhaps produced for some other purpose.
There's a lot of different ways to use video. Whether you're talking about, we did the NFL Super Bowl program. So the NFL Super Bowl app basically took traditional video from the season and culled it together inside a fully engaging sort of multimedia section. We have other examples of traditional media where you're putting a clip essentially embedded into text. Which I think is really one of the exciting things about the iPad is when you're, and it's sort of one of the magic moments is when you're looking at a page and there is video that lives inside what would be a normal, say, picture. I think that's really pretty exciting and really fun to, it's like sort of a magical moment from the experience. This is a really beautiful screen for video. And when the video is high res enough and you're building an interaction that's sort of about the screen, it's beautiful.
Tell us a little about the business, where you guys stand, how you make your money, and how big the company is, and where things are going. So
ScrollMotion is about 100 people now. It was started 3.5 years ago. We are a software licensing company. So we license our software and our toolkit to companies, both corporations, publishers, magazines, a whole range of different companies. And we also do services work on top of that. So we're really the experts on how to use our platform in terms of, we've done a ton of different types of content from, traditional trade books to kids books to magazines to textbooks to annual reports and corporate materials. So like people come to us with an idea for, I have this content, I want to make it interactive. That's our job. We have a lot of fun taking things like Harry Potter or the NFL and turning them into like amazing apps. And then we also give people our tool. This is a tool set that people are actually building on top of. We're the big believers of, we're not giving you a fish, we're teaching you to fish, and that we believe that publishers and corporations, and that they must own, that they need to own the experience of making content for these devices, and that the more that we can empower them to take advantage of what these things can do, the better we'll all be.